大家好，我是Kangyun. Hello everyone, I'm Kangyun, and welcome back to Chang'e's journey through Boletaria. In the last episode, we took out the Flame Lurker and the Dragon God, and in so doing, we're able to unlock the Pure White World Tendency events in Stonefang. We got the Dragon Bone Smasher and talked to Skirver, as well as using the Flame Lurker's soul, or giving it to Blacksmith Ed, to upgrade our Chris Blade and our Jerry Stiletto to +1. So, oh, and we also learned Flame or Fireball from Frake using the Dragon God's soul, which will be a very useful miracle, or a spell rather, coming up. And speaking of what's next, I do believe we want to now do the Black Tendency events in Latria, which means we have to go kill the Black Phantom in the first part of the level, and then we have to go through Upper Latria. We haven't done any of Upper Latria, but the Primeval Demon appears in the second half of the level. So, and it's worth mentioning that if you are in the first or the second half, you cannot get back to the first half. The ledge that the gargoyles drag you to from the altar, you cannot drop back down there, which is unfortunate. So if you go here and kill the Primeval Demon and still want to go back and kill the Black Phantom, you will actually lock yourself out from doing so, because you cannot get back there without warping, and once you kill the Primeval Demon and leave, your world will no longer be in pure black, and the Black Phantom will not be there, which is, you know, it will mess up your world tendency, and you would have to die, then die again. And I don't know if you would be able to then still achieve pure white tendency without, if you have the two bosses alive plus the Black Phantom. I don't know if that would be enough to get you back to pure white. You might have to do some PvP, killing some Black Phantom invaders or something. But we're gonna go here to the Prison of Hope. And I think this might be a little bit tricky, but we should be able to manage it. We're probably going to end up using the we do want shards of Moonlight Stone, so we'll put on this luck ring. We're going to probably end up using the golden head wrappings, because we want to have as much magic damage as we can to take out this Black Phantom, because unlike Skirver, this one doesn't have any ranged attacks, luckily, because that would be ridiculous. But he will probably kill us in one hit because his weapon is very strong. So no, oh, they did drop something. Hopefully it's a Moon Shard. No, it's some Widow's Lotus. We'll cast Cloak here. Get some fresh spice. Some old spice. And I'm only killing these guys because I want some shards of Moonlight Stone, so I'm hoping they'll drop some. And we got one. Okay. We could do with buying some more grass, I suppose, but we're really not worried about grass fighting this phantom. But it does. Yeah, I think we might actually want to go back, because once I kill this guy, I won't be able to leave. So actually, we should go spend these souls on some grass before we do this. My bad. And we could have bought some from the mistress there, but what she sells is overpriced. And I'll just run back to that spot quickly. It shouldn't take too long. Yeah, we'll buy some of that. And we'll get some more late moon. Yeah, we should be good.
Nice stuff.
Okay. It gives us a chance to get a few more Moonlight Stone shards. These guys are nice. Just some Widow's Lotus. Widow's Lotus isn't bad, because it's rare and expensive. But it's not what we're trying to get. Now that's dangerous if you aren't able to kill them in 2 hits like I did. Yeah, see what happened there. If I hadn't gotten that second attack off, or say I didn't kill him, he would have had hyper armor and would have been able to just stunned me and grabbed me, and I would have died. But because we can 2-shot them with our weapon, because they're susceptible to pierce damage, I play a little bit on the edge. So the Black Phantom is Black Phantom Rydell, and you are only able to free Black Phantom Rydell in pure black or pure white tendency if you've gotten the key. That's you gotta be real careful here. Okay, and I think we'll want this for fireball, and there he is. He is wearing the Clever and Dull Rat's ring, so when he's low HP like that, you'll see that he want to cast Cloak, so he'll lose track of us, hopefully. Nope, not yet. Apparently not. There he goes. Now, you could also backstab him like this, but... Yeah, see, he took less damage that time. Yeah, he already lost track of us because Cloak is so strong. And that's him gone, and we'll see... It should have affected. I think maybe we were a little too late to see it change, but for killing him we get the Phosphorescent Pole, which I do actually want to use on this character at some point, but we don't have the stats for it yet. We need 16-16, which is where I'm going to stop leveling my strength and dex so I can wield this weapon. But it's a pretty cool weapon. I'll demonstrate it here quickly. It was what he was using. We didn't allow him to attack us with it because he would have one-shot us. But it's a polearm. It's got the same moveset as all the other polearm weapons. But what's cool about it is that it does MP regen. And it does stronger MP regen than the Crescent weapons do. Also stronger than the Fragrant Ring. So it is worth upgrading if just for that purpose. So now that we've killed the Black Phantom Rydell, we need to make our way to... well, we need to take this off because it's ridiculous. And we're not going to actually use this. And we'll put back on the Fragrant Ring. Where is that ring? There it is. To regen some MP. We'll try and... Ooh, yeah. Okay. I kind of figured that would happen. I should have cast Cloak. It's okay, though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that put us... So we should be 2 steps above neutral character tendency, so we're leaning white. We'll need to kill 3 more Black Phantom NPCs and we should get pure white character tendency. Oh, there's another shard. Actually, yeah, let's put that luck ring back on. Is there another one? No, that's just some of my soul dusts. Might be able to one-shot these. Yeah, we can one-shot them. Very lucky that we can, because we would have died. We would have died if he had grabbed us and lost all those souls. Not that we had that many souls. If you are having more trouble, because while this is a guide or walkthrough, you might be finding that some of the things that I'm able to pull off are a little bit more difficult for you because you're just not as familiar with the game, which is totally fine. what I want to say is, if you are having trouble, it's totally okay to go and farm souls to level up higher than what I'm at, because I think I'm level 43 to this point, which there's a Black Phantom Mind Flayer because we have pure black, so we'll want to use that ridiculous hat. Take him out. And the best place to farm souls, at least to this point in the game, is to go to Shrine of Storms, where I was farming for the Moon Shadow Stone from the Reaper. Just killing that Reaper over and over. If you have, especially if you have pure black tendency, you'll get a lot of souls. There is better places to farm later in that level, but at least to this point in the game, that's a pretty easy farm. You can kill that Reaper over and over, especially if you have Evacuate. It makes farming pretty quick. You can also go kill the Black Phantom, or the Black Skeleton in the secret passageway. And this will always trigger the cutscene when you go through here, regardless of whether or not the bosses are live. And again, this is why it's recommended to turn the world pure black after you beat the first boss, because then you can just run through the boss room and not have to fight a boss in pure black. I mean, if you want a challenge, you can, but you'll have to also then come extra prepared, like be able to have enough grass to then survive going through this part of the level. Now we want to touch this archstone but not warp, so that it saves our progress to this point in the world. So this is Upper Latria. We haven't gone through here yet, but this is one of my favorite levels in the game. And from here we can see quite a bit. We can see the tower and the moon. And we see all these chains that are stretching out above us to create a very strange, almost net-like feel. And we see gargoyles. And we'll get a lot more Moonlight Stone in this level. And we see this area, this path, the bridge is broken, so we can't actually get up there. But we see an item up there, so we know we can get there. So we have to go down this way. And up ahead, we can see some gargoyles. There's one over there that saw us, and there's one here. Now these... We do want to keep the Providential Ring on, because they do have the chance to drop their weapon, which is the Spiral Rapier, which we do want. So, as much as it's possible, we want to kill these enemies when they're not in the air, so we can loot their corpses. Or when they're above ground, because their corpses will fall. Ooh. Their AI is really strange. And behaves kind of sporadically. If you've noticed, if you've played other From Software games, you'll notice that I don't think they really included any flying enemies after Demon Souls, because I think they had a hard time programming the AI of flying enemies, because they'll fly at you, or they'll very often fly away, or just sort of hover, and they can be pretty buggy. and I think the one of these guys should come to life. There's one up there we can see. If you have a bow, which I do recommend, I haven't done it on this character, but I do recommend upgrading a bow with, especially if you're going to have dex, use Spider Stone to upgrade it. So these guys aren't coming to life. We'll use some of this fresh spice we have, and we'll take out our crescent piercing sword, and up above there's this heart, and we hear it pulsating and beating. You can feel that in the controller actually, and you can see these arteries are stretching all the way down. And so if we remember what the woman back in the prison, the once royal mistress, told us about the evil golden monk that was banished by the queen but returned with demons and began, conducting bizarre and horrific experiments on the people of Latria, and brought about this. And I guess how I always assumed what this heart is a something that was created by the monk to feel some sort of demonic power that is taking over or holds place over Latria. Now, if we come this way, if we go right from that first path we came through, we can come and get some more Moonlight Stone, and there is some rubble we can break, or some pots, and this item shows that we can go down this path. And be careful, there is another gargoyle here, so maybe if you're gonna engage in melee with these, be ready with your shield, and you can take them out with your sword fairly easily. And we can come down here, and to our left there will be, this gargoyle has a crossbow, and he will run away from you and shoot crossbows, shoot bolts at you. Now he can drop the gargoyle crossbow, which is in the original game it was a very rare item. I don't think I ever got it but maybe once or twice in all the thousands of hours I played. And we get a Moonlight Stone chunk, that's very good, and 2 shards. So you definitely want to come through there. And if we go back this way, we see there's another item here behind some pots. That's death beyond that, so just be careful not to roll through that. And you can actually go through here, but we can actually see enemies down there and items, but we can't access it yet because these arteries are blocking our path, so we're forced to go back. But there's something else we can see. We can see a lot, like other towers that we can't actually access, which is really cool. In the original game, this place was a lot more darker and harder to see, but if we look above us, there is an item on the ledge there that we can get to. So that's something we want to go check out. Yeah, and we can look below. That's where we just were. That artery is blocking our path there, but yeah, we can see items and some freakish looking enemies. But we want to make our way up the stairs here. And if we come over here and we tilt the camera just right, you can see a message down there, and you can see that's the item we were looking at from below. Now this is a rather precarious drop. I may die, but you want to walk off this at just the right angle, and you can land There you go. We did it. You can land on here and we can loot this corpse. Well, here, I do want to show this briefly, so I will use the giant strength ring to pick up the Rune Shield and Rune Sword. Here we can send this stuff back. This is the sword and shield that Ostrava uses.符文剑. Yeah, 符文 being like a relic or rune. 剑 being the word for sword that we talked about in a previous episode. So this is his sword. Interesting that it does a lot of magic damage, but does not scale with magic. But it does require 18 magic to wield and 10 strength. It's not overly powerful. It has an attack rating of 172. You can upgrade it with colorless demon souls, but another effect that it has is that when it's equipped, you will gain magic defense. So we have 106 magic with it equipped. And when we equip our crescent rapier, our standard magic defense as is 76. So you can see with that we gain a magic boost. Now, the same is true of the shield, I do believe. Or maybe it's not. I thought it. Or no, we don't have the shield out. Yeah, so we get 130. I think the shield might give even more. But with the sword and shield, we have 160 magic defense. The shield, I don't think it's stability. Yeah, its stability stays at 50 regardless of its upgrade path, which is basically the biggest flaw of the shield. Otherwise, it's a pretty good shield because it blocks 100% physical, 60 magic, and 70 fire, which is all pretty good. It only weighs 3 units, has very low durability, however, at 80. So its main downfall is that, well, one, it requires 18 magic, 80 durability only, and 50 stability. So, yeah, it's, if you're going for a cosplay build to play like Ostrava, or you specifically like the look of these weapons, it can be fun to use them. But it's unfortunate that they don't scale with magic, because I feel like there could be more potential in those weapons. But I think the whole point is that because Ostrava uses them, and he's not really a soldier, they're more for, you know, he's like a pampered knight, as the Dragling Merchant says. So they're more of like a, like they're called, like a relic sword. They're not really meant for fighting. And their only usefulness is in that they give you magic defense and they deal a good amount of magic damage. So yeah, that's the Rune Sword and Shield. And now if we keep going, we can see that there's a stairwell that leads all the way up this tower. However, our path is again blocked by one of these arteries, so we're forced to go another way, which is the only way we're able to go is this way. And here we see another gargoyle that's waiting to ambush us. And I'm hoping we can get one of those spiral rapiers, but... Ooh, we hit him. Got him. Yeah, if I don't get one of those spiral rapiers going through here now, I will have to farm that off camera. Here we could get the flame-shaped sword, or Flamberge, as it's called. This is a cool greatsword. It's the only greatsword that actually scales with dex. 18 strength, 14 dex. It has the standard large sword moveset, but it does bleed. It does 120 bleed And you can make this weapon both mercury and tearing, so you could make one that does both poison and bleed, or just make it do a lot of bleed. You can also make it sharp if it could be a potential large sword for a dex build. It does look cool. I've always enjoyed the Flamberge. It's an interesting sword. But we don't actually need to carry it on us, so we'll send it back. And up ahead we have, if we look up, we see 2 more gargoyles, one to the upper right and one dead ahead. And then this one is actually alive as well, we can lock on. And we want to quickly try to get his drop. And still no spiral rapier. Okay, we go through this fog, and if we see around the corner here, we can walk along this ledge and loot 3 aged or old spice. Want to be careful about that. That's always nerve-wracking, getting that thing. And be careful going up these stairs, because I think a gargoyle is waiting to ambush you here. Yeah. He drops down from below, or from above rather. And if you're quick, you can take him out before he causes you too much trouble, but he will harass you if you're running past here and waiting for this. There's a lift you have to take up, but we don't want to go up just yet. We want to go across, because there is a stone of ephemeral eyes. And I want to point out that in Chinese, the stones of ephemeral eyes are actually, they're literally, or directly translated. I would like to kill that gargoyle for a chance at one of those rapiers, so I'm going to go back down, try to get him. He's kind of bugged out. Here, come here. I just don't want him to fall off. Okay. And it wasn't worth it. But the name of those stone of ephemeral eyes in Chinese is illusory eyeball stone, or almost like imaginary eyeball stone, or something like that. Which is interesting, because ephemeral means essentially, I guess it could mean something similar to the word illusory. And that it's not there, but ephemeral tends to mean something that's very short-lasting or fleeting. And now, if we look at these prisoners, they're casting a spell that is, it's holding up these chains. So you want to take them out, obviously, and one of the chains that's supporting that heart will fall. Now, we see multiple chains. If we look up there, we can see multiple chains. I don't know if we can see it from here. We can climb up here, and it's broken. The pathway is broken, but if you come here in pure white tendency, there's a conspicuous plank that appears here. And leading up this tower is how you get the second floor key, which is what you need to free Rydell in pure white. Not sure if we can see the tower that has the heart from here, but if we do look at it from a distance, we can see that there are more chains connecting to it than what you actually break down, but I think it's assumed that once 2 are broken, the other ones will fall as well. And if we come over here, we see an item. Get some more fresh spice. Now, the way forward is down, and you can get down. We have to descend below, and you take these cage lifts down, but there's a branching path here and a place we can drop to, and there's all kinds of guidance that are drawing our attention to come down here. So we want to come here, and there's an item here, and this is a stone, a shard of archstone, which I guess if for whatever reason you thought you couldn't escape, you could use that to get back. But we see there's a NPC in this cage.
Are you here to fight the demons? If so, then help me escape this place. I am on your side. I have come to face the demons.
Now, if you couldn't tell by his sinister voice, this guy is maybe less than good. But we'll free him because we want to use that cage to get down. But if you chose not to free him, I guess that's why you would use the Shard of Archstone. Now, you can talk to him.
Thank you. I will remember this. I am certain we will meet again.
Yeah, and he'll just walk around here, and he will go back to the Nexus, but he won't actually go back until you beat a boss. So we'll take this cage down. And there's the heart. And down here is the Swamp of Blood. And we start encountering the main enemies of this area, which are the man centipedes. And they make a disgusting sound. And these enemies, if you attack them, their bodies will separate from their head, and you actually, the large ones you have to kill twice in essence. There are some treasures we want to get in this swamp, and the Primeval Demon is also down here, but it can be very easy to get lost in the swamp. But from the cage, see, if you get back in it, you can take it back up. But from the cage, you walk over here and you'll see a ramp. Depending on which cage you take, it might be easier or more difficult to find. But I think all the ones you take are pretty close to the stairs that lead up to this platform, and you are given 4 auguites of guidance that will be useful in illuminating your path or placing. We can get the drop on this guy here. And these guys are your source of Mercury Stone, so if you're wanting to upgrade a Mercury weapon, which we will be doing, you want to farm these guys. Oop, and we fell off here, which wasn't great, but it's okay because we wanted to explore parts of the swamp anyways. We got one coming here. And if we had taken a lift over, yeah, we would have come down from here and we could get up from this side. But we can go over here and we see an item. And that is the Fragrant Ring. And if you don't start as a royalty, this is where you get the Fragrant Ring in the game. You can buy it from Patches, but it's not worth paying the 60 grand he charges for it or whatever it is. Better off just coming here and picking it up. But as you can see, these arteries that are leading up to the heart are draining blood from the swamp to feed this heart. Now we want to be really careful here because There is another one of these. There is another one of these Legion enemies. We'll cast Cloak. Whew. Okay. Those things don't drop anything. I'm gonna switch back to the luck ring. And it's guarding some mercury stone shards. And then in pure black tendency, there's a mercury stone chunk, and then where is it? Somewhere around here. Right here. In pure black tendency, you get a new ring. I do want to pick this up. What can we send back? That's a little bit heavy. Oh, we don't need all of these. Nor do we need all of these. And I suppose we can send that Phosphorescent Pole back because we don't have the stats to wield it just yet. But we get... This will only appear in pure black tendency here. This is the saturated ring. And what this does is allows you to move quickly in swamps. But it's basically only useful in the second part of Valley of Defilement. And yeah, we'll write the same message. If the world tendency is black, you can get that ring. And that's a very useful ring because in the swamp in the Valley of Defilement, you're not able to move quickly. That ring is new to the remake. In the original game that wasn't there, and I think that's the only item that is like how do you say, an item that's not tied to fractured mode, that's lootable and it's tied to world tendency in the remake. Coming this way, the way we want to go to progress is that way, and we can see a Black Phantom, a couple Black Phantom man-eater centipedes over there. But if we come over here, we see that is the Primeval Demon. But we want to take out these. Let's see how much damage we do with this. Okay. So that saves a little MP. We two-shot him either way. And that one drops a Mercury Stone Shard. And here we pick up the Resist Disease Ring, which if you didn't pick it up in Stonefang, you can get it again there. And we'll want to kill this Primeval Demon. And he dropped a colorless demon soul for us, which is very nice. It's worth noting that these Primeval Demons don't have a guaranteed drop on those colorless demon souls, though it is a very high percentage. But I think I have had one, maybe only once, in all the all the time I've played this game, only once have I had one of those not drop a colorless demon's soul. So it is not a guaranteed drop. It is possible to get short shrifted on that, we'll say. And this is the way to progress. If we backtrack a little bit here on this ledge, we see an item that's illusory eyeball stone. And here we have another soul, and this guy we want to be very careful because he is a Black Phantom. We want to give him a wide berth. We want to take these guys out from range if possible because we're out of MP. Because they will one-shot you, most likely. But the Black Phantoms always drop Mercury Stones, so they're worth killing if you're wanting to get Mercury Stone. We'll use some Old Spice here to spice up. Yeah, we want to use Cloak. This little guy, take out. Oh, he dropped a chunk. That's very nice. Now there are 3 of these guys. There's one over there, and then there's a 4th one if you count the and I think he saw us when our cloak wore off. So the reason why he gets stunned there is because we broke his body. But their heads will continue to walk, as I pointed out. So we'll loot some more items, and then here is some 2 dark moon grass, which the dark moon grass is very heavy, so we'll send that back. We'll use some more spice. And we don't need the luck ring for this next little bit here. You want to go through this fog, and then to progress you have to go up this hill. And there is a strong enemy up ahead that we want to make sure we can take out as fast as possible, which is why I'm foregoing why I equipped the Ring of Magical Sharpness. Yeah, there's a Black Phantom Mind Flayer here. And we want to be sure we can take him out before he attacks us, because he will definitely one-shot us. And we'll want to keep using Cloak here, because up ahead we have a Crystal Lizard we want to kill, and there's a bunch of these man centipedes. And if you see just up ahead to the left is the Crystal Lizard, but there's a lot of there's a lot of little and large centipedes that we want to be careful of. So we want to take them out before we kill the Crystal Lizard, so that we can kill the lizard without We want to get these guys without aggroing the lizard is the main goal. And I think that's all of them. Now, this lizard in the original game used to not really be an issue because you could just run it off the ledge and it would fall to its death. But it seems in the remake that he chooses not to fall. Ooh, and we got a pure Moonlight Stone and a Moonlight Stone chunk. That is very good. That Moonlight Stone chunk is a rare, or the pure Moonlight Stone is a rare drop. And typically you don't get those from... Like, if this wasn't pure black, he would likely not have dropped that. Over here we can get some more spice. But, yeah, so we got a chunk and a pure. The pure is the hardest one to get, and usually the only lizard that drops it is the one in the final area of this level. But if you have pure black, that one there has a chance of dropping this. So now all we really need to farm is a few more chunks and some a few shards, and we'll be able to get our Moon Wing Spear to +5, which will be very nice. And up ahead, we have more of these. We have another one of these Black Phantom. And you do want to be careful because there is a gargoyle. I believe that's a crossbow gargoyle that's waiting to shoot you. And we don't really care about that crossbow, but we do still want that spiral rapier. So we'll keep trying to kill these guys on here. No luck. Okay, so this lift, either side will lead to the lift, so it's not really a big deal which way you go. And I'm pretty sure there's another gargoyle that's going to harass us once we get to the top, so we want to be ready for that. Yeah, that's really good we got that pure. Now that was what that pure Moonlight Stone. That was what I was trying to do in this Shrine of Storms, is get lucky with the second Crystal Lizard to get a pure Moon Shadow Stone, but unfortunately we weren't able to kill that lizard because it ran off the cliff both times and died. Yeah, here's that gargoyle I was talking about. If his AI behaves and he flies up here, come on. You want to be careful because sometimes they can hit you through the floor. What are you doing? He's stuck. Yeah, this happens a lot with these enemies, which is a little bit irritating. Is he gonna... Maybe if we walk up here, he'll try and... I don't know why I'm doing this. Probably should just... Yeah, he's stuck. He's stuck, whatever. Well, I mainly am only concerned because I want to get a spiral rapier. But... And here we come to the second chain, so same deal. Nice, and then got another Moonlight Stone shard. And there we have it. That is... Oh, and another Moonlight Stone shard. Wonderful. That is the heart down there, and we'll be able to now... Where I first showed you where that artery was blocking us, we'll be able to access that now. And this is the very beginning, that bridge that was broke, where I mentioned we could get to. And there's the archstone leading us back to the beginning of the level. But I think that's going to have to do it for this episode, guys. I'm just about out of time. So in the next episode, we'll go and loot all the stuff down below where that heart fell. And we'll go see about upgrading our moon winged spear. See if we have enough chunks. And then I will, I'll take on the boss of Upper Latria. So I hope all of you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see all of you next time on Chang'e's journey through Boletaria. Umbasa.